Today is January 7th, 2023. I had a dream about my kids today, which is which is good. I haven't had dreams like that in a while. Uh, I just saw the I have a an account with TD Ameritrade, and their software is called Think or Swim. And I just noticed this. Um, I think the TH uh, silently represents the letter S. So it's sink or swim. So that's the nature of day trading. In this world, that is the nature of day trading. And that's how things are. When you're sinking, you have to think, how do I float? How do I swim? How do I maintain my buoyancy? Okay. So essentially, last year was my sinking year, despite the fact that I tried. This is Professionals talk about day trading as an occupation where the correlation between your effort and your success does not correlate very well. Because the effort of, let's say I go to Las Vegas and I sit in front of the one-armed bandit and I tug on that bandit's arm all day, all month, all year, for decades, 20, 30, 40 years. What will happen is that there's a software that runs in the background that has a statistical advantage. So what I am doing is essentially representing the masses by the time that I'm standing in front of the one-armed bandit and then tugging at the one-armed bandit. So if I am there just for one day, then I represent myself with a single point data point, whereas the masses of individuals who are there at the same time within that day represents the uh, spectrum of the individuals uh, who are spending time with the one-armed bandit. Slot machine. I'm talking about the slot machine. That's what Americans call the slot machine. It's called a one-armed bandit. Nowadays you just push a button, right? So it should be something different. So um, if I were to repeat that for years and years and years, I am a single entity that is representing a broad spectrum of a statistical number. And that number represents a broad spectrum of statistical disadvantage. Because casinos, they have to put they have to pay their bills, right? Nowadays, everything is electronic, so the lights are on, so the power bill's on, and it sits in a prime real estate, and the rent is high, and there's people who carry around with high caffeinated drinks, okay, to stir me up, to cause me to be excited about the event, which rightly so. There's a there's a place and a time for everything, and it's all good. So the reality is it's either called sink or swim. Instead of that letter S represents TH, think or swim, right? And so the so where am I getting with this? I just noticed that the that's what represents. So what that means is that I have to think. Okay, I have to think. That is the distinct. That is the difference between an individual who. That is the thing. So think is equal to success. That's what it is. Think is equal to success. Okay. Because hard work without thinking, just perpetuating. And to make this point See, going for home runs is very difficult in day trading. Here's a home run. Let me just make this a crystal clear point. I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to essentially wash dishes, and washing dishes allows me to perpetuate. I paid my rent yesterday, so that I can live in a room, a 9 by 9 room, so I can take a shower and all that good stuff. And I can drive my car around because I can put fuel in it. So I am so thankful. Now, on the other side, what I do as a dishwasher, there's really not much to think, really. I go in, walk around, wipe tables, uh, take dishes from the lobby, from the dining room, and then bring it back to the dish pit, and I wash the dishes as fast as I can. There's nothing to think about it. I just do things really fast, get it done, and then clock out as soon as possible. That in turn saves the restaurant money, and also uh, the residual effect is that aside from being able to pay the rent, I get to exercise, right? 53 years old, just sitting in front of this computer, day trading, and eating things, it causes the blood to be polluted, right? And so it's good to go exercise, and that's a good thing. So the reality is, um, and I'm this, it's very very interesting. It's called think or swim. Okay, it should be called think or sink. That's what it should be, right? Think or sink. And so apparently, I think what they did was when they created the software is to switch those words and say, essentially, it's supposed to be sink or swim. Sink or swim. That's essentially what it is. You either tread water or you're sinking. And that's what I did last year. And so this year, I'm hoping to change this by thinking more. Think, think, think. Think is the only means in order to, because what I've noticed is that I would lose like 90 times last year, sporadically. That's because I was not thinking. I was not thinking and then making that think into a reality and changing the behavior that I have in order to turn that into a success. And I hope to do that this year. Because I would say something, right? I would say something. I would tell myself, look, I'm not going to do this and I'm going to do this. But I would never do it. So essentially, the think part of it never became to fruition. And so it's amazing, by just sitting here thinking, I'm able to absorb what I need to do in order to become a consistently profitable day trader. And yeah, so I need to now go back to milestone number one, milestone number two, and then I have to keep climbing. Except this time around, um, things will be different.